This is a continuation of a story that I was working on earlier, presented now. One night, with these days, in a certain way seeming too long ago now to re-zap with the vivid vertigo triages of erudition more illustriously employed by my much younger self, I found my own temporarily homeless self attempting to shiver me timbers a mite of shut-eye in a near and toward McDonald's Plaza. One of the local police, after yodeling me off to the side of the road on account of one of my taillights, was spitting turtle lizard fellowship turds off the blink, had, as he yoked from timbrel jeb ukulele, a warning ticket, advised me, my own self thereby being temporarily homeless, to check into the near and toward homeless shelter after pinning the tail with a bit of moonlit shut-eye. Early upon the early autumn morrow, I sauntered my 3 nights without shut-eye unsuntenable self into the nearest homeless shelter, just one of the many gifts of the rapidly evolving New World Order. Things, as they say, were rapidly narrowing down to brass tacks. This particular co-ed homeless shelter had its living as well as dining quarters situated alongside the employee's office on the ground level floor, whereas in Wyford, the women's dorm and men's dorm were divided by the homeless shelter's community Jack Frost crapper and shower tub headquarters. That particular October morning, the place was almost capacitated to fulling. When are you ever going to learn, Senor Pablo Swank and certain Bedard, that those two swinging swineherd eyeballs on either side of your thick Canuck Canadian crab-appling nostrils just might contain in embryonic slipper form the lost peoples of Atlantis, the Fritz Morton hibernacle tribes of endogenous Grand Central zip-button Kilimanjaro caravan, that paper dragons of parallel parking kingpin weddings, as well as the Wichita golf courses that rise like whirling smoke from the neo-clear resilient subway chimney stacks that dance the night away, rolling off the rising tongue of talk-to acoustic retinues, following provided by time-space continuums, zeppelapsing past. And so on that particular long August morrow yesterday morning, I crossed up the bliff stack of vibracious stairs, finding myself there and among the growing American poor. And I don't understand it, poor man, rich man rift. How much would it take to keep the wheels well greased and oiled, as they say? A simple touching up here and there of the polarity dance, yo-yoing up and down infrastructure and economy. Those 2 and 1 randy-dandy bedfellows with their hunchbacks, rolling pins, and smelling salts. There must be a new way for human beings to coexist other than an escalating and alternately deflating chaos, ringmastering all else other and more so altruistic, emotive, Promethean rogue pantry shelves toppling overboard, having now entered by the back entrance, the abbreviated tangled grass lawn alongside which held as if it were a haunted queen of vulnerable lost empire, the sinuously relaxing hum of vast retinue of crickets, and slipping quickly alongside and past the 2 large dining tables, I advised the clerk sitting behind his counter that I needed to flap the weary, tired pancake, as they say, a few or 3 nights' sleep. He gave me the usual toss of the dice and farmed me out to pasture, fleet of foot, night ahead on a cot by the far window of the men's dormitorial proceedings. I had begun to fatten up in those days. I was actually teetering on the 190-pound CEO proceedings, CEO barking zone pursuits. It had been quite a long while since the mad scientist unhooked me from the electricity conduiting table, a fierce battle-axe bolt of lightning zapping me back indoors, at least temporarily, from the strident rockabilly cold. The hour indeed was soon to hand. An army of altruistic, laughing love hyenas would shadow my steps till this very day. The ships in the bell-bottom-esque coral bays since then have been many, all of them unflaggingly filled with stalwart, earnest, and vessel-worthy boatswains of the linonomous raincoat assemblages, stirred the bow as well as cargo hold, preparing to voyage forth from any and all autonomous eastern seaboards. Yes, the hour indeed was quite soon to hand, and so as I threw about the unfished tankable confines of the interconnectively dining entertainment area, I felt as might one among those trekking Siberian aborigines, starlit stridents adrift across the primeval sheet of ice so long ago, co-joining Russia with Alaska. I hear as might an old hat, curbside pruner, and dripping fuselage of quicksilver quarters into my upside-down musketeero marching lieutenant's hat, and I inhaled the entire universe of varied and various odorous academic delights. I was and still might be luckier for the roof over my head and the mulligan stew yelping its way down the Nordic Empire that my swank and certain PCPs, doctors, is called my digestive tract. Any man, woman, child, or wild-haired sundial spinning sailboat born into a house of Reinhardt Balbulus, railroad pioneersman riches. Never would I fade into the jello-plated misery of jukebox monotheistic diamond castle riches. Never would I attain the neo-Marionite pre-classical throne of any vice presidency. Never would I, you, he, she, or for that matter, they, find the unfalse, eyelashable, retro, momentary, ambulatory Jiminy Cricket within arm's length of a better life than the one of us God deems worthy of living. The hand he is given, as long as the geospheric habitudes equal his or her own particular personhood's sense of altruism in its multifarious forms, such as that particular person's kindness, mercy, compassion, as well and all else that makes a person a decent human being. At the end of the Civil War, I found myself sauntering my much earlier self, oftener than not, past the red brick homestead of the backyard garden, whereof Emily Dickinson could sometimes be seen there and amongst walking in the long flowing gown of timeless poetess. I was, in those long years, a ragmaster as well as a metal smelt, living a bit down the roadway, a mere and mighty league of 8s, 10s, and as well and thereby alike as 12s, nearer toward the outskirts of Amherst. My homestead was in those much earlier days and situated. There was something uniquely non-linear in the context, processing the afternoon hours, encapsulating each passing day's varied labors, pleasures, and the like, and as well mountain-shaded valley lands. Clozapine, melatonin, trazodone, so I don't have a droopy. God bless you all.